name's Sohan and I work at MARS campus, and today I'll be showing you the MARS 16X family.
Very good, thank you. So where are we going to start?
So here we got the battery compartment. This van is configured with 270 amp hours of battery, and these are lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are they're pretty much the latest battery tech that we have for campus. They are very durable. The fire risk is actually very low on these batteries. They are puncture resistant. They're actually waterproof as well to a certain degree. So they're brilliant batteries. And if you look at the back, so you got your breakers for solar, for your Anderson wire coming in from the back, for your inverter line. You got your main isolator switch, which is this big fella right here. Yep. So right now, so that's just switched on. So you got your Projecta shunt there, and that's your DC to DC charger right at the back. So that will be handling solar and your charging from your car, so your alternator charge. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the battery compartment. So yeah, so this is the main control panel as such. That's for your Projecta system. So you got various switches for your ceiling lights, for your dining light, your bedroom light, the lights outside. You could cut off the TV power off of this panel, and also your water pump, which will be something that you use pretty often. So anytime you want the water pump on, you turn it on, turn it off. And also if you want the load, the 12 volt power off on the van, you press that and it's off, press it on. This is your info panel. So this LCD kind of shows you your battery level, what current voltage you have, your water tank levels. So this van has 3 tanks. So you have your front 2 freshwater tanks and your grey water tank. If you move over to this panel, this is your Projecta inverter panel. So it will show you your current battery voltage, and it's actually configurable to show you how many watts you're drawing, what's the inverter load. So I believe this van is configured with a 2000 watt inverter. So if you're using 1000 watts, that will show you 50% is being used. And that can be changed according to what you want. So this is the gas hot water switch. You got 2 settings for 60 degrees and 70 degrees. So this only controls the gas portion of the heater. The heater actually is can be powered by electricity as well off your inverter, but both systems work independently of each other. But also, if you want the water heated up real quick, you could have your gas running at the same time as your electric, so you get hot water faster. And if you move over here, you got your awning control, your electric awning. So it's a switch. You hit open, it's the awning will start rolling out. Hit close, it will roll back in. It's important to actually have someone watch your awning while you do this. Just a quick tip. And that's your radio and DVD player, which is pretty straightforward. It's a standard single DIN unit, nothing too complex. Ooh. So this is your 240 system, your breakers for various things. So you have your inverter switch, so that could switch off power going into the inverter and coming out of it. Your power point switch actually turns off all these 240 volt plugs, and that's for your water heater, which is important. So this one, when you flip that on, it automatically turns on your electric hot water system and it starts heating immediately. So whenever you want it, you flick it on, and when you don't need it, you turn it off. And it's important to not run it dry. Make sure your water pump is running so that there's water circulating through that heater. And this is your air con. So obviously that turns the power going into your air con on or off. It's very straightforward. This is a little quick switch, so just for your bedroom light and your night light. So that's your main Projecta unit. So that's the brains of the 12 volt system. It's also got, if you see here, there's like a 240 line going. That's what will connect it to the grid when you plug your van in from outside, and that in turn charges the batteries. So you got your fuses down there. If you have a 12 volt, something blow on the 12 volt system, it will be one of those fuses that you have to check. You also got a battery isolator switch right there. So that switches off any power going in and out of the batteries if you want to turn that off. And if you look down here, that's your Projecta inverter. It's a 2000 watt unit. Basically converts your battery power into AC so that you can run all your home 240 volt appliances off of it. It's a reliable system. Projecta is a pretty popular name in the RV business, but straightforward unit. Yep. So this is your Truma Aventa rooftop AC system. So it's a split system. You can do both your cooling and your heating. It's got a mode that's automatic, so if you want to set your van at a certain temperature, it will actually hold at that temperature. So it will heat or cool according to the temperature that's outside. Yeah, so your airflow direction can be adjusted using these vents. And if you look here, you've got your little internal fridge. So stays cool, keeps your drinks and your food cool. Little freezer compartment there. Yeah. So these are your rooftop lights. They're very simple, touch operation, on, off, and actually if you want to adjust the brightness, you can touch and hold. Sorry. And that will dim the lights. And if you want to brighten it again, you touch and hold, and that brightens it. So yeah, very simple, on and off, and long press to adjust the brightness. You also have your little simple reading lights, which are you can adjust the position, and they are very simple, straightforward, just to switch on and off. You've got USB power outlets for charging your devices and your phones. Bed fans, which are these are single speed ones, can be configured to have multiple speeds. But yeah, that's pretty simple.
And a little square in the corner there, that's
that's your
main
night light and your roof light. So that will control this little skylight up here. Right? Yeah. So this is your TV. It's pretty simple. Works like a regular TV. It runs off the 12 volt system, so you won't have to have your inverter running if you want to have watch some TV. If you want to come around the back here, this is your booster box for your antenna, so it helps you in places where the reception isn't as strong. It can be actually adjusted, your gain can be adjusted with this little knob. Again, it runs off the 12 volt system. Very simple system, reliable, nothing too crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the TV. So you have your ventilation for the bathroom here. You've got a little knob to open the skylight at the top, so you get your air going in and out. And you've got an electric fan here, so you can configure the fan to either pull air out of the van or into the van, and that is done by this label here. And all these lights can be operated off of this switch over here, so that's on and off. Very simple. Obviously useful if you're having a hot shower or you just want some ventilation in your bathroom. You also got controls on this switch over here, so that will actually turn off the power going into the fan if you want to quickly turn it off from outside the room, and that's just for your ambient lighting strip down on the bottom there. Yeah.
Okay, see it that way.
This is the roof latch. They hold your electric roof down. Simple operation, just press in, pull it out, fold it back up, and you're good to lift the roof up.
Yep. So one in each corner?
Yep,
good to
one
go.
in each corner. Like we said before, make sure all 4 latches are loose, and it's simple operation. Press that once, and that will get the hydraulics lifting the roof up. You don't have to do anything. Once it reaches the maximum height, it automatically stops. And that's it. Your roof has been lifted. Putting it down is simple. Press it once, starts pulling the roof back. And for some reason, if you want to stop, you can hit the stop button there. It'll stop it exactly where it is. So in an emergency, you could easily just stop it. And once again, if you want to lift it, press it. Simple, easy. how you put in your gas bottle. So you got your gas bottle holder in the section over here. Just pops in there. You've got a little lock which can clamp on your gas cylinder depending on the size, so that can be adjusted. This is your gas hose that just screws on, and you open your main valve on your cylinder, and you've also got a little gate valve here, so that pointing downwards, that means it's on and the gas is flowing through to the van. This is where your exterior kitchen is stored. That folds down, and you've got your cooktop here. Slides out like so, and you've got a little external sink, which also folds out. If you look in here, you've got your hot and cold tap, and a little plug for your sink. So that's your fold out external kitchen. If you look at here, so this is for your gas connection. It's pretty standard bunk. It goes to this outlet here. That's your dust cap. It just twists on like so. You've got a little, if you want to get,
Oh yeah, the stop,
yep,
stop tap there.
That's a little gas tap here.
Yes.
That turns it on and off. We'll leave it on for now. So it's a standard 4-burner stove. It's electric start. So yeah, it takes a couple of seconds. But yeah, so standard 4-burner stove. Nothing too fancy. Shuts off as so. You've got a little bit of space for your cutlery, storage and other things down here, which is convenient. And all of this falls back, so before you fold it in and out, make sure you disconnect your gas. Simple again, just twist and turn. Tuck that back on there, and that slides back in. Make sure that locks in. For this, so this doesn't run to your grey water. Basically you'd have a bucket, or
Yep.
it would just drain over into the ground. It's pretty simple. That's it for your external kitchen. This little black hose just tucks back in there. Just make sure nothing is hanging down when you close it. So, get back in. That's it for your external kitchen. Storage for your external kitchen. You've got some cupboards there, so you could put in your dry goods, some food, whatever you please, to your storage. This light can be switched on and off. There's a switch over here.
Right.
Simple, so your kitchen area is illuminated. So this is a little fold out bench top. So you have a chopping board included there, so if you want to do your veggies or fruits, you've got a chopping board here and extra storage up there. It's pretty simple, and it just folds away pretty easily. These are your little 12-volt exterior lights. They come with 2 settings. The yellow setting is insect repellent.
Yep.
So if you have a lot of mozzies or flies, you can turn this on, and that can be turned into a white light as well, according to what you want. Very simple. So you got the 2 settings and on and off. So this is your slide out toolbox. So it's got these little levers, you push down and you pull, and this slides out here. So if you have an external fridge that sits in this tray over here, and if you look up in there, that's got a selection of power ports depending on what your fridge requires. So you've got your standard 12-volt connector, Anderson, and 240. These little switches control the lights, and also when your fridge is running, you've got some exhaust fans pulling air in and out of this chamber over here, so that your fridge is well ventilated at all times. So plenty of storage on this toolbox. The action's pretty simple. Push down on this lever, pull it out, and you've got multiple levels. Plenty of storage here. 3 levels, just fridge and whatever, plenty of storage for whatever you're taking on your trip. That all falls away pretty easily. All the way back, and that all slides back in there, nice and easy. That closes up. This is the cover for the exhaust on your hot water system. Before you run your hot water system, it's very important to actually remove it. And the easiest way is to actually use a flathead screwdriver. You just pry the little plastic lips off, and that pops off right there. So every time you're running your gas, the exhaust just comes out of here. So very important, make sure your cover is off whenever you're using the hot water system.
Above the exhaust, you'll find the outside shower parts and also the drop down curtain.
Hey guys, this is Shikani here at MARS HQ in Melbourne. This here is your cassette compartment for your toilet. You just undo the lock, you pull it open. Your cassette's located within here. When you need to change your cassette and empty it, refill it, clean it, you push up this green clip right here, as you can see, and then you give it a bit of a pull. With a little bit of force, the cassette comes straight out, and then you can go and empty it and give it a clean.
Yes, a great jobs, normally by the men.
Yes.
The ladies don't want to touch that stuff.
That's correct. No, not a lady's job. And when you push it back in, you push it along the rails and it slides back in, and then that clip will just click right down there. After a couple of weeks, you just give your cassette a check. You check that everything's all good, see if anything's changed, and yeah, you just give it a check. As you do with every other part of the van, you make sure everything's good, and you do a procedural check once every couple of weeks or months. You just lock it up just like this. Now we're going to go on to the storage compartment here. So you pop your locks open, and the locks just open just like that. Your door comes down, and then you have access to a wide area of storage to put your appliances, clothing, luggage, etc. in your van when you go out on those long trips. And then you just close this back up just like this, and the lock's click closed. You have your reflector panels on the corners of the van for safety. You've also got your parker lights for when you're parking the van, and the hazard checks as well to help you park and maneuver the van at night time. This is your bubble window. Your bubble windows all have their own little latches and that on the inside. I'll show you how to operate them on the inside in just a moment. With this window, it's very easy to operate. You've got 2 blinds. You have your complete cover blind, which will completely seal your van, and it just clicks in like so up here. Now when you want to unclick it, you just push this tab here, it will unclick, and you can slide it down. Now you've also got another clip which comes down. This is your fly screen, so if you want to have your window all the way open, you've got your fly screen to protect from bugs and etc. You don't want anything getting inside the van, of course, especially mosquitoes. With your window, to open your window and function your window, it has 3 of these latches. To operate these latches, you press this button here and you pull down like so. Once you've done that, you do that on the other 2, like so. The window will now be free, and you push it, you'll hear it click, and these have little stoppers inside of them which will stop it at those clicking points. I believe there's about 3 clicking points, so we've got 1 more. So the window's now open there, and then we've got another one there. And then once you want to close the window, you can't just pull down, you have to push it all the way up, which then releases the locking mechanism altogether, and the window comes straight back down. Now that the window's down, you can close up your latches. Some people also like to have the window very slightly opened, just to allow that little bit of air in. So what you can do is you can unlock your latches. When your latches are unlocked, what you do is you then lock the latches in to the center part of the latching mechanism.
Yep.
What this does is it leaves a very small gap for air at the bottom. to come in, so it allows for a little bit of airflow. I don't generally do that, but yes, if you need to have a little bit of airflow, especially during the night, you're more than welcome to do it that way to allow a little bit of air inside the van. So with every van, this here is the tool for your Stabiliser legs. This comes standard with every van, no extra cost. And the way it works is you have your Stabiliser leg just down here. Now to operate your Stabiliser leg, you pull on this, which just comes out. This loosens your Stabiliser leg and allows you to pick the direction and the way you want your Stabiliser leg. Ideally, you want it pointing straight down, which allows for the most support. You have one Stabiliser leg located on each corner of the van. So you have one at the front up there, you have one at the other side at the front, and then you'll have two at the back on each corner. Now with each Stabiliser leg, they're really easy to operate. You use this tool, you push it in, and it will slot straight on the nut that's right there. And then all you have to do is you just spin this. As you spin it, it's got a spinny part on the end to make it much easier for operating, and you can just keep spinning it like so.
Right.
And if you get a good method to it, you can just keep going really fast, and as it goes, the Stabiliser will just slowly lower to the ground. And then this is also good for helping level out your van. Now once you get your Stabiliser leg near the bottom, you want to centre your bottom plate. And you continue to lower it down. Once it's down, you'll feel the Stabiliser leg will start firming up. And then you can adjust it accordingly to level out your van alongside the other three Stabiliser legs that are located on each corner of the van. And that's how it works. And to do it back up, it's much the same process, you just wind this in the opposite direction.
This is the front end of the van. You've got your trailer lights and your electric brake connector. So this goes into the back of the car. This is your Anderson wire for your alternator, and this allows you to charge your batteries off the alternator of your car. These are your little tow chains, and this one's equipped with a breakaway system, so in the event that your van, God forbid, breaks away from your car, it actually triggers the unit and pulls a brake on the trailer automatically, which is easy. And this is your DO35 hitch, which is rated to 3.5 tons. Very easy to couple it to your car. It comes with a little adapter for your car's tow ball as well. That's your handbrake. Very simple operation, just like that. We have a little spirit level just to adjust your hitch, so you know if the van's level or not. Yeah. And if you come around here, you have your ARC 750 jockey wheel.
This handle moves the jockey wheel up and down, which allows you to remove the camper from your tow ball and enables you to level your van. Pulling the blue D handle enables you to rotate the jockey wheel for the towing position. On the side nearest the camper you see a silver handle. If you pull this, it enables you to lift the jockey wheel up and down to set heights. I'd like to thank the management at MARS headquarters in Melbourne and Shakan and Sahan for showing me around the camper and giving us full details on the handover. If you're interested in more details on the MARS 16X family or any of the other range, I will put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching.